spoilers ahead.
Beast is a 2022 horror action thriller starring Idris Elba, Ayanna Haley, Lee Jeffries, and Sharlto Copley, who I used to really respect.
Some people thought everything in this action thriller seemed real, while other people thought the movie painted itself into a narrative corner with no chance of logical or believable escape. So let's take a look at Beast.
The plot.
The movie opens with Dr. Nate Samuels taking his teenage daughters, Meredith and Nora, on holiday to the Mopani Reserve in South Africa. He meets up with his pal Martin, who manages the reserve, and the trip's supposed to reconnect Nate with his traumatized daughters after their mother and his wife died from cancer. Martin introduced Nate to his wife, so they start the trip by visiting the village she grew up in. The next day, they all go to check out some of the reserve's restricted areas. First, they check out a local pride of lions, and one of them's got an injured paw. Then they pop into a local Tongan community, and most of them have been ripped to shreds. And wouldn't you know it, a lion's responsible, even though that doesn't make any sense. Despite seeing the damage the lion did to everyone it came across, Martin goes after it, instead of ensuring the safety of his friend and his already traumatized young daughters. Martin's such a badass, he even wades knee-deep into waters teeming with crocodiles. Martin really doesn't give a damn. And when Martin eventually finds the lion, or more accurately, when it finds him, it shows him who the king of the jungle really is. While the family's stuck in the truck, Martin radios them and tells them not to come for him, because the lion's using Martin as bait. And if that sounds ridiculous to you, just remember they made the lion with their computers, so they can give it whatever skills they want. You should see it doing Excel spreadsheets in the DVD extras. You'd really want this lion working in your office. Trust me. Nate throws a tranquilizer gun together in hopes of doping the beast up just enough so they can fetch Martin. When he hops on top of the truck to get a shot at it, his daughter leaves the safety of the truck to go find Martin. And if this also seems ridiculous, rest assured, it wasn't her fault. Jamie Premack Sullivan came up with the story, so it's her fault. A second later, the lion attacks Nate and knocks the tranquilizer out of his hands. When Nate takes cover under the truck, the lion has a go at him, and it's able to get its head and front half under there, but not the rest of it. And if you've ever seen a lion, you know the front end's the biggest part. So obviously, this lion stopped trying to kill Nate out of professional courtesy, as per the Animal Actors Guild Regulations Guide 2019. So full respect to the CGI lion for playing by the rules. Nate's wicked brave daughter stabs the lion with a tranquilizer dart, so the lion takes off to enjoy its buzz for a while, giving Meredith the time she needs to bring an injured, full-grown, fully experienced African safari ranger twice her size all the way back to the truck over the sun-baked South African terrain. Inevitably, it turns dark, and knowing lions and dozens of other predators are nocturnal, the kids decide to have a screaming match with Dad while Martin's passed out from blood loss. And if it were my family in the truck, we'd probably all be terrified to make any sound at all. But there I go again, applying silly logic to a movie that's trying to sell us on its realism. Martin regains consciousness just long enough to tell the audience the lion's probably killing everyone because it's politically motivated to do so. And then the poachers show up, and they're mean and bad. In a surprising, not very poachery move, they offer to bring the gang back to the village in exchange for some Yankee dollars. But things go bonkers again after the lion's drug trip wears off. So he comes back and kicks some poacher ass. While the lion's doing that, Nate nicks the poacher's truck keys. But the lion hears Nate's radio going off while he's bringing the keys back. When he accidentally drops the radio, the lion growls into it. And although I don't speak lion myself, I'm guessing he's probably telling them all about his Excel spreadsheet formulas. To get back to the girls, Nate wades through the same crocodile-infested water Martin was in earlier, and the lion hears him, so it stands a foot above him while Martin's up to his chin. But somehow, the multi-talented, super fast, super strong Excel spreadsheet master builder lion misses him. Lion makes it back to the girls before Nate does, and once again, he gets the largest part of him into the truck and then he stops. Then to make up for causing all of this in the first place and doing nothing but laying on his back the entire movie, Martin helps the girls escape out the back by pinning the 420-pound lion down with his tiny injured body. Mere seconds after they're out, the pair of them topple over the hill. When they crash at the bottom of the hill, they both find themselves doused in gasoline from a leaking tank. So Martin takes one for the team by lighting himself and the lion on fire. Back in the main plot, Nate and the girls find an abandoned schoolhouse to hole up in. And wouldn't you know it, the lion finds them. He's not only alive, he's fully functioning. Nate comes back just in time to scare it away with his rifle. And after locking the girls into a room, he goes out to film the scene this entire movie was written around. And in this version of the Revenant's bear attack on Leo DiCaprio, Nate endures a direct mauling from a massive, angry male lion for over 60 seconds, which would have been pretty freaking cool if he hadn't survived it so easily. But he did. They end the film taking selfies under a tree as they all pretend the whole movie never really happened, which is exactly what I'm gonna do 20 seconds after I post this review to YouTube for all of my amazing subscribers.
Good bits.
Beast is only an hour and 33 minutes long, and the action kicks off pretty quickly and keeps going for the duration, which is what you'd want from an action thriller fake lion horror movie. And also, I can't complain about the acting. Both the kids, Lee Jeffries and Ayanna Haley, did a great job playing along, and Idris Elba's always reliably Idris Elba. As for Sharlto Copley, I'll refrain from commenting on how disappointed I am with where this man's career's ended up. I first came across him the way most people did, in his role as Vickis van der Merwe, an Afrikaner bureaucrat in District 9. If you haven't seen the movie, I would definitely recommend you check it out. And if you have seen it, you might not know Copley improvised 100% of his dialogue, and he did it to a superb standard. But as no good deed goes unpunished in the modern art world, he was subsequently sucked up by the Hollywood vacuum, and now he does movies like this.
It's probably not a good sign for your movie if my good bit section's got insults in it.
The shite bits.
I think diving deep into this section would be beating a dead lion, so I'll give it a single sentence. As an action thriller horror, Beast is a weak, superficial, shallow, silly, predictable, wannabe poignant pile of animal dung creature feature featuring a creature that chooses to ignore the proven methods of many other successful monster movies by showing us the ridiculous looking thing too close up and far too many times, while failing to create any real tension to accompany it at any point during its runtime. And that is all I have to say about that.
The verdict.
So, should you watch an hour and a half of Idris Elba tussling with a computer-generated version of The Lion King with rabies? Or should you hop onto YouTube and check out one of the many condensed videos showing you the fight scenes in a fraction of the time absolutely free of charge?
No, don't watch this. Don't. I'm not lying. It's not my pride speaking either. Until next time, folks. It's me, Johnny, from that thing you just watched. If you enjoyed it, go down there and smash me in the face to subscribe. And if you want to watch another thing, there's one right there. Do it!